Jonathan Toews is headed home. He's agreed to join the Winnipeg Jets on a one-year deal. CJ, from the second we heard Jonathan Toews was making a comeback from his illness, we all felt two things. We're all really happy he's healthy again, and wouldn't it be awesome if he could go back and play in his hometown? How big was the market for him, and how did it all come together?
Well, not only did we think that, the Winnipeg Jets thought that. And this player was a priority for them from the moment they came to learn that he was going to try to resume his NHL career, and they landed their big fish. And, ultimately there was a big market. Certainly a lot of teams intrigued, interested in what Jonathan Toews might be at this stage of his career. There's obviously some unknowns with the fact that he's missed the last two NHL seasons completely. But, you look at his track record, the amount of winning he's done, how physically fit he is. And he's really put a lot into this comeback here in recent months, ramping up his skating and getting to a position where he felt he could give it a go again, that, everything came together. Sometimes you don't get a storybook ending to these types of things, but I think there's at least the possibility of one here because, he's joining a Jets team that was last year's President's Trophy winners, didn't totally get over the hump, got to second round in the playoffs, but they also have a need. Adam Lowry is going to miss the start of next season after undergoing hip surgery at the end of May. And so, there's a positional need for Toews in the lineup down the middle with the Jets. It's the right team at the right time in his hometown where maybe he can make a difference and help them go on a longer playoff run. And it's just a match made in hockey heaven.
This could be an incredible story, CJ, but he's 37 years old. And as you mentioned, he hasn't played in over 2 years at the NHL level. Realistically, what could a Jets fan expect in terms of Toews and what he could do at this stage of his career?
Well, I think you start your bar at third line center. I think it's reasonable to think that as long as he remains healthy, that he could fit in that slot in the lineup. And you look around the league, and I say this with respect, but it's not that high a bar, I think, when you look at where Toews has been. And then you hope that maybe as time goes on, as he gets his feet back under him, that maybe he can be something a little bit more than that and contribute maybe a little on the power play, maybe play second line center spot. I mean, I do think that there has to be some amount of realism, but, I come off the Stanley Cup final and look at some of the top performers in that series. They're Jonathan Toews' peers in terms of age, and even some like Corey Perry, who was older than Toews, was still making an impact for the Oilers. And so, age is a little bit of a number. It appears to me in the NHL these days, we're seeing the average age of players actually spike up in the last year or so, and certainly on the best two teams at the end in this most recent Cup final, that was the case. And so, it might take Toews some time to rediscover it, but he had something in his prime that not a lot of people do. I think one of his strengths was always, between the ears, his mind, and that is unchanged. And as I said, I think he's put a lot into this comeback, and I don't think he'd be doing it if there was any doubt that he felt he could play. And so let's see where he gets there. But, I think it's all upside for the Jets. It's a one-year contract. It includes bonuses, which protects the team if he's, for whatever reason, his health doesn't allow him to have the kind of comeback he's hoping for. And so I think this is all gravy in terms of what he gives the Jets this coming season.
At the end of the day, whether you're a Jets fan or not, this is an incredible story unfolding in the city of Winnipeg with the Jets this year.